U.S. President Joe Biden is ripping his predecessor for comments that sowed doubts about America's commitment to protect its NATO allies from attack. AP correspondent Sagar Magani reports.
Donald Trump said Saturday he once warned an alliance member the U.S. would not protect it from Russian attack if it was not paying enough for its own defense.
No, I would not protect you. In fact, I would encourage them to do whatever the hell they want. You got to pay.
For God's sake, it's dumb, it's shameful, it's dangerous, it's un-American.
The president says the U.S. commitment to NATO's Article 5, which holds that an attack on one ally is an attack on all, is sacred.
When America gives its word, it means something.
And says Trump doesn't get that the commitment works for the U.S. as well. Sagar Magani, Washington.
Two officials say Israel and Hamas are making progress toward a deal that aims to bring about a ceasefire and free hostages held in the war-ravaged Gaza Strip. Key meetings continued on Tuesday between the sides in the Egyptian capital of Cairo. The talks are moving forward even after Israel intensified its offensive in the southern Gaza city of Rafah, from where it freed two hostages, but killed at least 74 Palestinians on Monday, according to local health officials. The leader of Yemen's Iran-aligned Houthis said on Tuesday the group had been able to prevent Israeli-linked ships from passing through the Gulf of Aden over the last week. Houthi militants who control Yemen's most populous regions have repeatedly fired on international commercial ships since mid-November. The Houthis and Hamas are U.S.-designated terrorist groups. This is VOA News. Estonia says Russia is preparing for a military confrontation with the West within the next decade. Reuters correspondent Rachel Faber has more.
Estonia says its foreign intelligence service said on Tuesday that the assessment was based on Russia's plans to double the number of forces stationed along its border with Finland, Estonia, Lithuania, and Latvia. Kaupo Rosen, chief of the intelligence service, says right now Russia doesn't have the manpower, partly because it has to keep troops in Ukraine, and that NATO and its allies were moving in the right direction to counter the Russian threat. A growing number of Western officials have warned of a military threat from Russia to countries along the eastern flank of NATO, calling for Europe to get prepared by rearming.
Reuters correspondent Rachel Faber. A group of rebels bombed a displacement camp in eastern Congo's North Kivu province, killing 3 civilians and injuring 8 others, a local civil society group says. The announcement comes as violence in the conflict-hit region escalates, and a humanitarian group warns that thousands are facing limited access to aid. A rebel group with alleged links to neighboring Rwanda bombed the camp on Monday, a civil society leader said. The bombing followed days of attacks not far away from the city of Goma. More than 1 million people have been displaced by the conflict since November, the Mercy Corps aid group said on Tuesday. Farmers in South Africa's red meat industry are excited to resume exporting beef and lamb to Saudi Arabia after a long hiatus. Kate Bartlett reports.
The beef from some of the more than 150,000 South African cows outside Johannesburg is destined for diners many miles away in Saudi Arabia. That's after South Africa did a deal with the kingdom, which this year became a new member of the BRICS Plus group of emerging economies, which already includes Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, and presents itself as an alternative to the Western-led global order. Kate Bartlett, VOA News, Johannesburg.
The party of Pakistan's former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif and its allies have announced they will jointly form a coalition government. Tuesday's much-awaited decision ends the uncertainty since last week when no party won a simple majority in the national elections. The latest development came hours after the rivals of the country's imprisoned former Premier Imran Khan met in the capital, Islamabad. The meeting was attended by almost all the rivals of Khan, including Shehbaz Sharif, the younger brother of Nawaz Sharif, who replaced Khan when he was ousted through a no-confidence vote in Parliament in 2022.
Thank you for watching. Can you do me a favor? Please leave a comment in the comments section below. That would really help. Thank you, and see you again soon.